Boxing Bro UK, support this guys. RBG Kurdistan.
Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK here. I am a Hister Boss Chris. This is my co-host Andrew the Boxing Brain. And the topic of the day is Daniel Dubois. The fight, what's next, all that. This video is just about Daniel Dubois.
What went wrong behind the scenes, his mental state.
We Usyk's the legend. He's great. He's a Hall of Fame. Like, we can't stop going up. Like, we can't say more good things about him, and we all know him already. Everyone knows it. So Daniel needs our help right now, for sure.
So where do we start with this, Chris?
Let's start with the fight. Let's start with it. Andrew, start with the fight. Go through the fight for us.
Well, God, where do we even start?
Start from the first round.
Well,
it's only five.
I mean, look, he needed to establish himself early, and I think he tried to establish himself early. He needed to land something heavy and significant, but I don't know. I don't even think he did. Some people sort of saying, Eddie Hearn saying, he started quite well. I thought the round 3 was his better round. Usyk, I'd say he just came to the centre of the ring and just had that right hand out and he got some solid jabs in straight away. And I thought that then started to make Daniel Dubois second guess himself straight away within kind of a minute into the first round. And overall, I thought there was too many times, and I'm sure you'll talk about this as well, and I'm talking about the fight overall. There was too many times where he was trying to fight. I don't know if it was desperation or what, and I know he tends to do this. He was throwing a right hand and leaning right over the shot, leaving his chin in the air, not bringing his hands back. We know he's got a bit of a wacky kind of wedge guard anyway. And Usyk there was one time, and he just kind of slipped back and was catching Dubois clean. Dubois was then ending up, once he'd kind of fallen over his front foot, he was square on, kind of easy pickings, defensively all over the place. I'm trying to pick some positives, because were there any positives? And the round 3 it picked up a little bit, but really he needed to land something to give him confidence, significant early.
It wasn't happening.
It just didn't. So I'll let you come back in, Chris, but I was a bit disappointed by his performance, but I know how difficult it must be in there against a legend.
Usyk is the master, yeah. So it's impossible to try and do what he didn't really, like you say. I think he came out and he started all right for I think the first minute, and then he started to walk Usyk down, taking centre ring, and then he had this fucking stupid wide open guard where he stands there like this. Punch me. And then Usyk went, a jab, but it was like a Tommy Hearns jab. He stepped right into it. It's like, bang, popped him right on the chin. He rolled over, stepped around. Dubois tried to counter. He hit fresh air, got fucking hit again in the face. And that was it. After them 2 punches landed, he was following Usyk around. He wasn't cutting the ring off. He was just following him around just like an idiot. Like, he wasn't taking to the step, trying to cut it off. He wasn't doubling up the jab. And then he had a bit of success in round 3, landed a body shot, and it landed exactly the same place as the last one did. And I looked, because I watched the fight again, and I said it was low on the last video. It weren't low. It was a body shot. Usyk did his thing, and the ref just ignored him. And he landed it clean. While Usyk was complaining, didn't go in to go it again. And then I think he landed another little body shot, but he didn't follow up. Usyk's moving around. When he landed it, he could have let his hands go, hit the hips. I think he was just trying to get through the fight without getting knocked out, and he's just following him around. But because his defense is so leaky, he's not tucked up, and he doesn't block punches. So I've said this he don't block punches. It's just, he's never going to get on with that kind of style. And he wasn't doubling up the jab. And then I think when we got to round 4, he was pushing his shots. He wasn't even trying to load up. He'd load up every now and again and miss. And his jab, he was like pushing it out. He wasn't snapping it, and he wasn't bringing his feet in behind. He was just throwing the jab, but he wasn't stepping in. So he was getting countered, and he was getting countered. And he was dejected. And I think everyone's there. Yeah, I think everyone's right. Dave Allen said it. Derek Chisora said it. That as soon as Usyk landed that stiff Tommy Hearns jab right on the jaw, rolled under it and pinged him again, he gave up then. As soon as
I think there was,
he gave up then and thought, I can't win this.
There was 2 things for me, Chris. One, I think that there's 2 sort of things I wanted to sort of cover. One was, I think Dubois is an on-top fighter, clearly. And when things aren't going his way, he don't know what to do. And the other massive mistake, and look, we spoke to George Fox, I know you spoke to George Charles in the early build-up, way back at Wembley, the April, whenever it was.
He said he's going to rip his eyeballs out.
And I know it's easy to say this now in retrospect, but I
said
think
it before. Just to let everyone know.
I think it's easy to say this now, but I think the Dubois jumping in the ring when Usyk, I think, was talking about his late father at the time. I know that was maybe ill time, wasn't intentional, was poor. I think the really trying to rattle Usyk's cage, poking the bear, whatever you want to do, disrespecting someone like Usyk. Was it like they maybe thought he was soft, they had a soft underbelly that they could expose and then go in for the kill? Someone like Usyk, who's quite gregarious and chilled out sort of personality. To me, the last thing you want to do when you've got all the skills in the world is to also make that skillful fighter upset and pissed off and want to do a job on you. Because I think the tactics of poking the bear and getting under his skin completely backfired and was the wrong approach, because all it did was make the best version of Usyk we saw in that ring at heavyweight. And I think those two elements I wanted your reaction to, poking the bear against someone with all the skills, and also Dubois, when things aren't going his way, he doesn't seem to want to know. And I understand that, but I think it looks to be a bit of a problem.
Firstly, what was it with the poking the bear, yeah?
Poking the bear and Dubois being an on-top fighter.
So poking the bear, this is what I think happened. Because, you know, Usyk is a gentleman. He's respect, like, he doesn't play them games. So when Dubois did that, you seen what Usyk said, like, he ran in the ring, he took the mic, fight me. What did Usyk say? I think Usyk, in his head then, he was like, you're getting it. That's what I think he felt like.
100%.
He did say, he said, I will fight you. Of course I will. But I think in Usyk's mind, he's saying, I'm going to make you fucking sorry for what you're doing now. And for 4 weeks, for 12 weeks, I'm going to be thinking, dreaming, and plotting my revenge of how I'm going to do you. Like, I'm going to train so hard, laser, because you're going to regret doing this.
And he did, Chris. Just to come in before you carry on. Usyk said it. I watched the post-fight press where he was talking about motivation and discipline and how he stays disciplined. He said he'd been preparing for over a year for Dubois. So it must have been around that time he thought, right, because he's not going to float around on his feet the way we saw in the second AJ fight. He's actually planting his feet more. He's still got great footwork, but he's actually sitting on his punches more, and we saw that. So I think you're bang on. I think he thought, I'll give you a set and I'll do it. But also, you're being a bit petulant here. I don't like your demeanour. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to old man you, and I'm going to teach you a lesson, father-son style.
That's it. It's just like, and I just think the stuff with the low blow, like Usyk is... He's not in it for the money. He's a throwback fighter. I'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime for nothing. But not for nothing, but because I want to prove that I'm the fucking best. I want the best. And that's why, it's like I said in the proper video, the first fight with Dubois, Usyk wasn't up for that. He wanted Fury. Yeah, he wanted Fury. He didn't really take it. He took him lightly. He didn't want him. He wanted Fury, and he had to have Dubois. And the fact that Dubois and Don Charles and everyone have been running with that low blow thing that he lost, and got such a big deal out of it. He also wanted to prove a point to say, you're never going to fucking mention that low blow a fucking game, because I'm going to beat you so good that no one can ever dispute me being the best ever. And that shit that you're talking there ain't going to happen. And he landed that same shot, exactly the same position as it did in the first fight. Obviously, the ref didn't call it a low blow, so what did Usyk do? Stayed on his feet and knocked you the fuck out.
Should the game plan, again, I know it's retrospect, before I get you to talk about the on top thing, because I wanted to get your reaction to that. Do you think, and again, it's easy in hindsight, they obviously wanted to try and get under his skin, and they thought maybe there was something there that he maybe had a soft side and whatever mentally, which I don't know where they got that from, but that's clearly, because we was around it during fight week, and we just felt like, I don't know if this is the right approach.
A bit much.
If anything, you want to keep Usyk serene, so he's a bit complacent, surely.
Like, I'll tell you, someone like Conor Ben, wind him up, it works in your favour.
Emotional energy.
Usyk, wind him up, it's a bad idea.
Because Usyk will be
more
motivated.
like,
If you're an emotional
Jordan.
character,
yeah,
that's going to then expend energy in the ring, isn't it? But with Usyk, it's just going to motivate him and take his levels up.
Some people get angry, and it works against like another example. Nigel Benn, Conor Benn's dad. Make him angry, he loses his shit, and he can't concentrate, and he will just go in like a maniac because he wants to kill you and he can't think. And people like Chris Eubanks Sr., Muhammad Ali, when people kept calling him Cassius Clay, changed his name to Ali. It makes him go to a next level where you're shit. This makes them more laser focused and they concentrate better. And other people, it makes them so angry that they can't concentrate. So, and Usyk's one of them. He was Michael Jordan going Air Jordan. And that's it. You're finished. Game over.
What do you think about this? Dubois seems to really fancy it when things are going his way. And look, all right, he's lost to Usyk twice. He lost to Joe Joyce. You know, we saw it in Lorraine. Things weren't going his way. He managed to turn it around. But when things aren't going to plan, or when he's, and again, we'll get onto the autism spectrum, whatever's going on there. But it seems to be when it's not going his way, he just looks like he's lost. He doesn't know how to find a way back, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's that's the problem as well, because he beat AJ. It gave him too much self-belief. They just like, oh, I've knocked AJ out there, I'm the best. And obviously all them fights, there was signs in it. Like the Hergovich fight, they were saying, you know, you can't be taking them many right hands on the chin because we had that leaky defense again. Like, so where he's getting wins, but just because you win doesn't mean that you don't need to improve. So they were winning and they weren't trying to improve him. He hasn't improved at all, and he can only win. And if he's not on top, he jacks. If he's not on top in the fight, so he can only fight in fights where he's going to win, because any kind of adversity, he can't handle it. He can't handle it. And if that's your attitude, I don't think that you should be in boxing. Because, well, firstly, before we move on to that, because I've got a bit of some stats. I've laid out some stats and figures later. But I wanted to talk to you about the corner work.
Yeah.
So, like, what did you make of it? I've got Don Charles, like, trying to give him advice. And then I think John Charles, like, stopped talking and was just like, Daniel, and like his dad kept screaming, shouting. And then when Don Charles was giving him instructions, he's looking at his dad, and his dad's shouting instructions from the audience. So he's not listening to Don Charles. It's very, very strange. And then his dad got out from his seat and came in the corner. I think it was round 4 or might have been round 3. Actually got into the ring and got into the corner. Was like part of the coaching team. What do you think?
I'll give my take, because I'm sure you got some opinions on it. And I found out today.
Well, that is my opinion. Well, yeah, I'll give it after you.
Yeah, I found out today as well. There was not a YouTuber. Someone had filmed it. The towel was actually being waved and came in on the count of around about 8. I think, if I've got.
Really?
Around that. So I think there was a combination of Dubois was very much looking to his corner. Look, again, you can make the argument he was maybe waiting for the towel, but we said it in our video yesterday with Usyk, the greatest of all eras video, which Chris will probably attach to this one, watch it and you'll see. But I think that was the other massive. There's so much. This is the thing now, isn't it? So much has come out after. That to me is just really unprofessional. And I said yesterday to you, I understand the influence a father has, and I understand the influence his dad's had. Maybe he's had too much influence going on, and maybe that's a whole other video. And I get that he respects him a lot, and he's done an awful lot for his career, and I understand that. But surely let the person who's paid to be his trainer, that's working on the game plans, that's with him every day in the gym, working on the strategies, he doesn't need to be listening to voices externally going off, like father or not, and looking round to his. And I said it yesterday, Chris, didn't I? He's already overwhelmed. Things aren't going his way. He's got a guy like casting a spell on him in the ring, hitting him in the face, catching him. And then he's going back to the corner. He's got Don Charles trying to talk to him, his dad trying to talk to him. And I'm almost not surprised if he wanted to quit, because I'm not saying he did, but I'm not really surprised. He overwhelmed.
Like,
Chris,
I,
would be my
I feel like, obviously, he loves his son, yeah? But, like, sometimes some people think they know the best. They know the best. Like, it's like, I suppose, like, if I had a son that boxed, because we're boxing fans and all that, I'd probably think that I know best, that I can be advising him what to do. Do you know what I mean? Because it's my son, and you can't, because we ain't professionals. And I just think, like, I feel like his dad got Don Charles in because Don Charles won't stop him from doing that. Because like,
probably.
you hear Ben Davidson when he's on other coaches. Ben Davidson, I think when he was doing Tyson's corner, he had Ricky Hatton, Freddie Roach, and Freddie Roach kept trying to tell Tyson what to do, and Ben Davison just said, "One voice, one voice, please, Freddie, stop."
Well, did he there as well, or did he come?
No, that was the rematch.
Right.
The first fight was Ricky Hatton and Freddie Roach.
Yeah,
and Freddie Roach kept trying to tell Tyson, go at Wilder, go at him, stop running away. He was giving him the right advice, and Ben Davison was giving him the wrong advice, but Ben Davison's the head coach. It don't fucking matter. So he was saying one voice, yeah? So be quiet, Freddie, basically. Peter Fury, he said, you know, if someone's done that before, and he said, you know what happened? He says, I fucking grabbed them and I threw them off the fucking corner and said, fucking get to the dressing room.
Well, we had this with John Fury as well, and then he got banned from the corner in Tyson's corner. It doesn't work.
But Don Charles, while Daniel's dad's climbing into the corner, talking over him when he's not even a coach, he's in the crowd. Or Daniel's looking at his dad when his dad's shouting out instructions. But Dom Charles isn't rude and horrible. He's very like laid back. He's passionate but laid back. Like, he's not authoritarian. He's not the type of person to say, "Fucking shut up, Daniel. Listen to me. Don't look at anyone else." He's not that kind of person. It's just like, come on, Dan, step to the right, you know. And I feel like they got him in because he's a yes man, because he's not going to stand up to them, so that they can have a good coach there, and Daniel Dubois' dad can be like a second coach, an invisible coach, and they got away with it against Miller and Hergovich. That system of his dad being the coach from the stands, it wasn't going to last, and they got found out. It'd
be interesting to see what they do now, whether they change it up a little bit and maybe kind of hone that in a little bit. But I don't know where you, because I know you've got some sort of notes, but I really wanted to talk about, not too in depth because we're not a psychology, mental health channel or anything like that, but I do think this is a key part. And I don't know his diagnosis, and this is pure speculation, and I just want to say I'm not in any way being personal or criticising or mean this offensively whatsoever. I used to be a support worker in autism. I've been around autism and mental health, right? So I get it. Something with Daniel, we were up close this week, Chris, weren't we? Where we spoke to, obviously, George Fox. You get a different vibe than on the TV where you're seeing a lot of the kind of his team around his manager. Don Charles doing a lot of talking for him. That's clearly a game plan. I didn't like after that Don Charles had to say to Daniel, thank the crowd. I thought that was weird. There's something there. I don't know. He's got a childlike quality to him, and I'm not saying that offensively. He's obviously clearly not got the most intelligence in the world. I think that's probably fair to say, you know. He's a simple guy. But there's something, he's either on the spectrum, or there's something going on there, Chris, that needs to be factored into this, because I think that there's something there going on that's affecting these performances when things don't go wrong. Did you see where I'm going?
Yeah, I'll put it like this. So, like when kids have autism, like their brains like work different. Yeah. Like my son. Yeah. My son has it. Like so it's they can only do things and enjoy things that they're passionate about. That's why they always struggle at school. So they can only excel in the subjects that they're passionate about. Even if they put all the hard work in, their brain's not going to comprehend it because they're not interested in it. Like in most cases.
Laser focused on what they're into. I think that is a thing,
where Daniel he idolizes his dad. His dad is his whole world. Like his other children, like the older ones, they've left the dad because he's obsessed with boxing. The dad is, and they've left him. His daughter's left him, not on good terms. And Daniel's like the only one there.
Yeah.
And with you say when Don Charles is saying like thank the crowd, and he doesn't like doing press interviews and stuff. Oh, just an alarm. He doesn't like doing press interviews and stuff. It's like he's not. I feel like he's not really enjoying the boxing. Well, not the boxing really at all. And he's doing it kind of like for his dad because he's idolized and he loves his dad. If you look at his career, right? Let's look at every time he's quit. Yeah, because he did quit. He could have got up and continue, and he chose not to because he didn't want to. He tried a little bit, and in boxing, that's not good enough. So we'll start with Joe Joyce. Quit, all been till bone. What? Yes, fight another day and all that, but he quit. Then he has a comeback fight. New trainer, Shane McGuigan, has a comeback fight. Kevin Lorena. Lorena puts him down 3 times in the first round. And same again. He doesn't go down by punches. He gets caught with a few right hands and then stops, looks at him, and then takes a knee. Yeah? Just takes a knee. And like you say, he's not very intelligent. So I bet he's been told, if you start feeling fuzzy or whatever, just take a knee. Just take a knee before you get knocked out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why if he feels any kind of dizziness, he takes a knee. He doesn't like getting hit too much. And then Shane McGuigan said he had to scream at him, beg him, really trying everything to G him up to get through that, and he ended up stopping him. And obviously, then he got quit against Usyk, and then
that's an interesting insight.
He's quit again in the rematch. So that's 3 times, nearly 4 times that he has quit. Like he's gone. He's done a few rounds. I thought, nah. And like just took
I'm still really on the fence about this last time. I know I get what you're saying. Dave Allen spoke about this, and I can totally get it.
It's like he's doing the boxing for his dad, because when you love boxing, yeah. Have you ever known anyone? Because he's a brilliant boxer. I can't take that away from him. Like obviously he's a good boxer. But have you ever known any fighters at this level, at this age, young, 27, that quit like this, that are constantly taking knees in their fights? Because when people fight, they love boxing. They want the crowd. You don't even need to say thanks to the crowd. They're doing what they love. Yes, yeah. They fucking love it. He doesn't love it. He doesn't want to do it. That's how I feel. He's just doing it because he loves his dad, and he feels like it's going to break his dad's heart if he don't do it. And then when he's doing it and it don't go his way, he don't want to do it, and he hasn't got the bit in him. Like, I'll die in here. He hasn't got, because it's not for him. So he thinks, I've tried, made my dad happy. That's enough now. I don't want to get hurt anymore. And if that's his mentality, I don't think he should box anymore. I really don't. Because if he's done this, or if you want, he can box, but for fun. I don't think he could be putting all that pressure on him to the highest levels, because I just believe he doesn't. His heart's not properly in it, because and they say once you've quit, you'll always quit again. Like David Haye quit when he was at cruiserweight against Carl Thompson. He jacked when he fought Klitschko. He can talk about his big toe all he wants, but once you quit once, you'll always do it again. He's quit 3 times already, and he's only 27. His whole career is just going to be an embarrassment of quitting when it gets too tough.
I think it's, you make some strong points, and a lot of people are going to agree with you, and I tend to agree with most of it. I think it's a real difference. He's obviously, and Don Charles has alluded to it, he's an absolute specimen. He's a physical marvel, and he's a real athlete. Yeah. Apparently doing hundreds of press-ups was, I don't know, this is speculation, but apparently his dad, getting him to do very kind of big, getting him to do loads of runs and the rest of it. And I don't know, it almost feels like a whole other video that is unpacking that. But his dad obviously has an incredible amount of influence. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me a bit of the Williams sisters' dad. The influence.
Serena Williams, yes. You know what? Obsessed. He's obsessed.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I think he's very good at box. This is the impression. And when we say Chris has given his opinion, we're not saying, oh, this is absolute foolproof. We're giving what we're sticking our neck on the line. We're saying all we can pick up what we see. That he's very good at boxing. He's chose it. He probably could have done any sport, to be honest with you. He could be a fucking quarterback. He could have been a forward for rugby. He's got that side power, and he's a very, 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 very good boxer, and he's very good at it. But the mentality, the autism, the father's influence, his kind of mindset. Does he actually want it? Does he actually love it? Because you could be very good at something. I'll use another prime example. I'm a big Tottenham fan. Don't slate me in the comments. Gareth Bale, right? He was a top player. superb, but he was more interested in playing golf. Like he wasn't playing for Wales because he loved his nationality, but apparently he used to walk off training halfway through sessions. He was extremely talented, gifted footballer, didn't really love the game. And I wonder with Dubois, he's got that talent. You look at Usyk absolutely loves it, and he's got the skills as well. So you just hold on to that thought, Chris, right? You've got someone who loves it, still at 38, not showing any signs of slowing down. If anything, he just adapts and evolves and find other ways to win. Skills to back it up. Daniel Dubois, who's still skillful, got the physical attributes, not as skillful as Usyk, and his mindset's been found wanting again. And what happened was, I think, and you're right, he's quit a couple of times and probably did quit again, to be fair. He's got in there, got bamboozled, got hit, got a heavy left hand, and he's just thought, absolutely, I ain't winning this. Call it quit, call it what you like. He was just outclassed
in every department. And it's just, and I did feel really sorry for it, but like, I just don't think that he should do boxing. Like my daughter, when she cried, that's it. My daughter, if my daughter, she was doing like MMA. Twice I seen her crying when she was sparring. I pulled her out. This isn't for you. This ain't for you. He's quit 3 times. It's not for him. It's either you don't just get paid all that money, do all that hard work, dedicate your life.
Carry on though, won't he, Chris? You know he'll carry on.
So you can't like dedicate your life to something, and then if it gets a little bit hard, you haven't got that bit in you to go to dark places to win. Then you can't. It can be in boxing, but like maybe for fun. Because does he want to go his rest of his career cherry picking opponents? Like he won't. Eventually, it'll be his career will be. He won't be considered a great for world champion. Like if he can only fight certain kind of fighters, because if he starts losing, he's going to take a knee. And imagine every single time he goes to fight now, that's what they're going to be attacking his character about.
Oh no! Yeah, you're right.
If I was him, he's a millionaire. He's been a world champion. Retire now.
I want to come back in on that. I'm just coming off the back of what you're saying there, because that's what we're all about here on Boxing Bros UK. Whether you like our opinions or not, we'll give our opinions. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, but I was going to basically say,
what do you think? Do you think he should carry on?
Well,
get back up the rankings, rebuild all that shit. I think
that, even though I'm not completely with you on it, I like that you've gone there with that, because I'm not sure any other channels are going to be talking about it, because it's a brave thing to start. And I know where you're going, because you just think his father's influence, obviously. Look, I'm just talking money and being real, right? Don Charles will be on the payroll, is obviously on the payroll now, making the most money he has ever made. His team around him, his manager, let's put it right, and I mean this respectfully, little bit of a show pony going on, innit? Dubois, very good at what he does. Lovely lad from what I gather. Really like George Fox. I really like Don. I'm just saying he's a big product. There's a lot of money around him. He's still a young man. Frank Warren said in the post-match press conference that he's going to be right back in there with a competitive fight or something along those lines, which I was a little bit surprised at. I just can't see it, because I think there's too much money around him and he's too sellable. And you just wonder, has he got that enough kind of self-awareness and autonomy, independence, to go, actually, guys, do you know what? I know you all want me to continue for whatever reasons, because you think I'm good, whatever. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't see him ever doing that. I can't see it happening. So I think he'll continue, but I think what you said is really interesting. You know now, if I'm training a fighter, you're saying to him, stick it on him. Stick it on him, make it uncomfortable. He don't like it. He don't like it. That's going to be the tactic now, isn't it? We've seen the blueprint, really, haven't we?
Yeah, because you find, and it's just like, some fighters, they know that they're going to lose, and if they get up and think, right, fuck it, it's go time, the ref will come in and stop it, or the towel will come in. But he's like, are you going to do it yet? It's like he's waiting. Stop the fight. It's like he hasn't got the balls to even go in and be scrappy-do and think, I know he's fucked, he's just knocked me down. I'm going to run at him, try and swing it. I'll get clipped again and the ref's going to stop it. But I ain't looking like a shitbag in front of the whole world. And he hasn't got that. He hasn't got the fighter's heart and mentality to overcome the dark places.
Can he ever get that? I
don't think he's got it. That's something that
it's a shame, isn't it? Because if he had that, he's got everything, isn't he? The skills, the jab, some defensive fundamentals, that he could work on. Right? He's talented, but he just doesn't seem to be there emotionally, mentally, and the heart, does it? He doesn't seem to.
And because he's not there, like I really don't think that he don't love boxing. Like I said before, when Don Charles was telling him, say thank you to the crowd, Daniel, like speaking to like a kid. He's not a fucking, he might have autism and stuff, but he's a fully grown man. And he doesn't really want to.
I don't actually know what he's got. I'm assuming he's on the spectrum.
That's why he didn't want to say thank you, because he doesn't want to do it, because he doesn't give a shit. Normally, like, you're boxing, everyone's watching you. You come out, yay, guys, thanks for coming out. Yes, shadow boxing and all that. Like, and he just doesn't. That's not him. He just doesn't, because I just don't feel he wants to do boxing, and he's just doing it to please other people.
I think you could be right. So just a couple of points off that. I think it does seem like his team around him do. That's what we saw in the build-up. They're doing all the talking for him, and because when they've tried to get him to talk, it doesn't seem to resonate. And I think there's something doesn't come over, and I think you've alluded to it. Part of the reason that was such a pro-Ukrainian Usyk crowd is one, because of the war effort and Usyk as a man. I get that, but I think there's a disconnect between Dubois and the crowd and the fans. It's not connecting the way it did with AJ, the way it did with Fury all those years ago. Something the way it does with Chris Eubank, with Nigel Benn back in the day. Something's not connecting. I wonder whether it's because Daniel doesn't love the game, doesn't maybe love the sport the way some of those other names do, and people pick up on that body language subconsciously. You know when you're out with a friend or you've been on a date and you're like, oh, they're not feeling it, or I'm not. You can feel it. You can feel it, can't you? They're not. This ain't flowing. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it does carry on. I just wanted to quickly get your thoughts on maybe where did it go from here? I think he needs a couple of emotional buffer fights to get him. But there's. I think they're going to chuck him in with a top tenner.
Coley
could be the one.
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad shout, Coley.
They need to put him. They need to put him in with someone who's slow.
Yeah,
who doesn't move around that much.
Yeah, Coley's a 1-2 merchant, isn't he? I like it, but he's 1-2 it's certainly
if it can fat a Coley, if he gets away from that pound of jam food, gets away from that African food, just for a whole training camp, then he can bloody.
Yeah, a Coley at 240 is a dangerous proposition, isn't he? Because I asked you that, I haven't even thought about kind of what next, but I would.
Solomon Dakers
carry on.
I might put him in against Solomon Dakers. Could do.
But the thing is that he'd be going from world level right down, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't often sit on the fence, but I think he needs a good. We'll have 6 months out now anyway, because he's obviously been knocked out. Yeah. I think he needs a good year out, get his team all around him, his dad, Don, sitting around, and really think about what he wants to do. And when he's under that, look, he's just lost a generational talent, but there's a bit of a theme emerging with and really sit down and say, look, how much do you want this? Where do you want to go with your career? And really try and forge a way forward. I don't really know what that looks like, Chris. So
it's always going to be there. That he's got that in him. Like, if it gets a bit too much, then I can just take a knee.
Yeah. So there we go. But let us know in the comments. I'm sure you will.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment. Like
TikTok,
and subscribe.
YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Share it.